My relationship with each player has grown in its own way. I think what's been most interesting for me as a coach is I feel like I've always had the tendency to have the most amount of communication with the players I work with. I think from observation of seeing the relationship grow with Jagger and Andrew has been something that was a little unexpected for me in the most positive way. Sometimes I carry the weight of the relationship with the player, and it can be pretty emotional as you get to know a developing male and what they need, and you try to be there for them in every way. It's almost been relaxing to see Andrew and Jagger step up and develop the relationships with each of the guys, which has almost helped me just kind of look at it more almost fit from the outside. And that's really cool to see for me.
How are you, Jack?
Good. Yeah. Yeah, for me, I think I felt very close to these boys over the past year after going through the original summer camp and then, seeing them weekly throughout the season, throughout this past year. And now moving into this camp, I think we've just deepened the bond that we've already had. I think these kids are all different in their own way, and we have unique relationships with them, whereas we train them on a daily basis, but half the time in this trip they've just asked us about women and relationships and things that are on a deeper level, and you can tell that there's a comfortability there with them and us. They trust us, and I think that's a very special, unique bond that we've been able to build, especially over these past 10 weeks. It's something that I don't take for granted. I think it's very unique to be in this position, to be able to help them in the way that we help them. And I think it's very valuable for us and what we do, and it's very fulfilling to be able to be on that level personally with them, and then also help them achieve their goals on a daily basis and be able to guide them in that process. But ultimately, we are in some way a family here. That's what we've kind of set out to do at the beginning of this camp, is just grow close, enjoy our time together, give these boys the best summer possible, and also push them closer to their goals. But yeah, I think I've grown to love each and every one of these boys. It's very special, the relationships we have.
Andrew, can you lower the mic? Yeah. Is my eyeline at camera or at you?
You can chin down.
Chin down.
Chin down.
Is this better? Very good. You see okay? Yeah, I guess just kind of echoing what Jagger and Tommy are saying. For me, I'd only been here, a couple weeks, right? So I've only been here for 4 weeks, and I'm the psychology guy. I'm the sports psychology guy. So naturally, I try to open up that space for conversation with deeper, whether it's sports psychology stuff, but just mental, emotional awareness, and just kind of trying to create that space for these boys to experience what it is to be around someone who cares about psychology, how it can help them, not only on the field, but off the field as well. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, the first couple of weeks, you really can't expect too much connection, because I have to kind of see what they're bringing and figure out what they're trying to figure out what I'm bringing at the same time. So I think these last couple weeks, especially this trip specifically, has been pretty special for me. I feel like I've gotten better at my craft, and I think I've gotten better at connecting with these guys at their level because I've just started to understand who they are. And I think on this trip specifically, they've asked me a lot of questions about my past, which is pretty interesting. But I think it's maybe just they're curious, and that's an exciting place for me to be. So it's been really good. I'm kind of sad that it's going to be over in a week or so, but hopefully I've done a good enough job to allow them to know that they can contact me if they need anything sports psychology wise, or just be a resource in any way. So it's been really good. Yeah, I mean, I just got out of school, so it's just this couldn't have been a better transition for me out of school, being there with these young men. So
We'll go back to Tommy. Is there any player specifically that you've seen grow the most out of all of these kids that you've had the pleasure to work with?
Not one in particular. I think they've all grown significantly in many ways. I think the leadership of these two guys next to me and the way that we're working on a much deeper level than just baseball. I think it's surface level in a way to only care about players in terms of what they can do physically. I think the physical part of it is so important. That's what's going to help them accomplish their goals and get opportunities in this game. But for us, it's not all about velocity, and it's not all about exit velocity and strength and power. It's about the human development and the process where we're seeing these young men build characteristics for a better life. And so collectively, they're all growing on their own time, but with the leadership of us three, giving them the space to ask those questions that normally they wouldn't be able to ask males about has been the biggest rewarding part of doing this for me. I think it's almost shallow when people only want to work on, the surface level stuff of the pitching velocity and the spins and the hitting approach, and that's all good and that's all fine, but that's not what we're about. All three of us align because the reason we're helping these guys is more so to be there for them on that level, but we're really good at the X's and O's of the training, so we're the best at that too. But we're really showing up to be there for these young men as they grow into their own, turn 19, 20 years old, and they're gonna set the path for their life. And so these are really cultivating years for them, and I think we've done a great job over these last 10 weeks in developing them that way.
How about you, Jagger?
Yeah,
Not specifically.
I don't know if the answer is better than that.
How have they developed as humans outside? How were you able to kind of...
Yeah, I think each and every one of the boys has had a unique path this summer. They've all experienced different challenges. A Price and a Robbie going through the college recruiting, Braden just getting opened up to that world, Hearn going through area codes and perfect game and that whole kind of draft scene. Quentin obviously going off and getting drafted, going to professional baseball. Cody, being Cody. Not sure how else to say that one. But yeah, these boys have, they've done it together. And I think we've been here as mentors and friends to allow them, like Andrew said, to give them that space to communicate and grow and, take those challenges head on with us there as a resource to help guide them and, be there for them as humans. Yeah. Not sure what else I can say though.
That was perfect.
How have you seen them grow mentally?
yeah, mentally, I mean, like I said at the beginning, it seemed as though, they're kind of just figuring me out at first. So, their ability to connect with me on mental, emotional stuff has increased a decent amount. I think they have, when you're in my position, you can always kind of tell if you're doing some sort of session, whether it's on sports psychology or you're just talking about something that's meaningful. You can really tell if someone's engaged with you or not based off of like their eye contact as well as their like head nods on if they're agreeing or disagreeing with something that you're saying. And I think at the beginning, it's like you kind of have that little, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this guy. But the last couple weeks has been a huge improvement in terms of their ability to kind of connect with me. So I think mentally and emotionally, I think they're even talking about some of the concepts that I've been introducing to them. They really like the appraisals, the goal setting. We've talked about self-talk a lot. So it's really cool to see that they're just at least taking the theories that I'm giving to them, and whether they're applying them or not is to be determined, but it seems they're applying them within conversation, which means it's on the top of their mind, which is a good thing, and that's really all my job is. So it's been a pleasure. It's been fun.
Tommy.
Is that going to be a problem?
No, shouldn't be that.
Oh, so
Very,
what?
Quickly, could you kind of describe your thought process behind the Big Bear trip? Like what this means to the players, what this means to you, and all of you guys as coaches and mentors?
Yeah, so the biggest thing about this trip is that it was about life development and creating space for them. So the first step in creating space was taking their phones away, and I removed myself from my phone so that we could all be present together. And to be away from baseball, to not be playing baseball, to not be playing catch, to not be lifting weights, to not be doing any of those activities, but to get on a paddleboard, to go to the grocery store together, to go bowling, to do all those activities together and just live life together. That's one of the greatest things we can guide them on, is how to live a good life. And I think a lot of coaches want to show you how to live a good career, but the biggest thing that all three of us have talked about with them in these intimate moments is two parts: when the career is over, and women. And those are the two things that they wonder about the most. And this space that we've created for them here on this trip has allowed them to explore those thoughts. No answers are given, no magic formulas have been created, but just enough to give them the space to think and ponder those things. It's been the greatest success it possibly could be.
How about do you have anything to add?
It's pretty great.
In
If you
terms
got
of-
something right now, go
in
ahead.
terms of the Big Bear trip,
Yeah,
and
like what does this trip mean to you? Like what is the purpose, would you say?
yeah, I just echo what Tommy says. Just giving them a little bit of space from their regular lives. Sometimes it's really nice to get that detox from your phone and baseball and recruiting and school and girls, and then just hang with people that are on the same journey as you. It's so nice to be with other people that care about the same things that you do. So it's a good opportunity for them that for 72 hours to kind of just hang with us and see where their mind goes, and honestly just like hang with the boys. Hang with the boys is really nice. So it's been great.
Yeah, I think the biggest part of this trip has just been connection. They've been able to detach from their normal lives, from their phones, from being head down and scrolling through Snapchat and TikTok and Instagram, and you can kind of see their minds work now. And the questions they ask us, the things that we've been talking about, it's been so deep. Like it's not surface level by any means. Like how we've been communicating with these boys, like we've had to open up on a whole nother level. And I think, like Andrew talked to me about it yesterday, just having to be vulnerable, and going back into your past and reliving things in your career. Like it's not easy, but they're curious about it and they want to know. And so we've had to really dive deep and find things in ourselves and our careers that could help them and help them understand the process. And it's been eye-opening for me as well. Like these questions, they're not easy by any means. It's been hard to relive some things, but at the same time, it is incredibly valuable for both of us. And this trip has been super special in that regard. Being able to help them and communicate with them and be raw and real. Yeah.
Now we'll kind of move to more fun questions of kind of like.
Those were fun.
Yeah.
Those
I
are
like
fun. That's how we
those.
like talking.
Let's go to the serious one.
Yeah.
These are the real. This is more about like stuff that's happened. Kind of talk about it like it's happening right now in a way.
Well, it is happening.
Yeah.
What's happening is happening.
Mm.
That's Robert Rovner's go-to line.
What was your experience with the hike this morning?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Specifically with getting
Tommy?
to the top.
Tommy on the hike.
Okay.
I'll
Anxiety
answer
show.
this question. Tommy don't like no heights. Next question.
Yeah, anxiety shows up in very rare places in my life. Heights, not my thing. Not my thing. Jagger watched me stand at the bottom the last time we were on that. The last two times we were on that rock. And all the boys did it, so I just had to. It was complete peer pressure. No individuation, just following the tribe. And I hated it, but it's okay. I did it, and I'm not like proud of it by any means, but I did it.
We talk about vulnerability. Tommy was really vulnerable.
Yeah, I haven't
way-
expressed
the way-
any vulnerability in like terms of women here, but I did up on that rock.
The way Tommy was saying Andrew and Jagger, just the way the names were coming out of his mouth, it was like he was pleading for help. And I honestly didn't know I needed that like experience to like further our bond. But I was like, wow, Tommy really needs me in this moment, and that's really nice. And it was great. I mean,
I felt like they were making fun of me the whole time, but
No, not at all. We were just happy you took the leap.
I did.
It was amazing.
I was so scared.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate that. I still hate that. I don't want to do it again.
Next question.
Yeah.
Wait, so Jagger, what was the hike? Have you been on this hike before?
Yeah, it's just Castle Rock up here in Big Bear. You know, there's a little scramble to the top of the.
Big scramble.
It's 50
It's like a
feet.
12-egg scramble.
It's a 50 feet elevation.
No, it's not.
The scramble is.
Yeah, it's not too bad, but yeah, you look down and it can be a little scary. But yeah, you get up to this view that's super beautiful and it's all worth it.
If I fell, would I have died?
Yeah, if you fall, you die. but,
Yeah,
you
so
know,
it's scary.
That's life, right? We're talking about risk versus gamble, right?
Yeah,
Tom?
I know, but I didn't really make anything of it other than doing it.
You know?
right.
But no, it was all worth it.
Next topic.
That was good.
How was dinner last night with the boys at Tropicali? Tell us
Tropicali.
about the experience.
I think it set the stage for the trip, that we were just going to have fun and enjoy one another. It really did. It just sets the stage for it all and lets us be comfortable together and see who mooches off our credit cards, and that's really what we
There
learned.
you go.
Let's talk about some of the bowling that happened earlier.
Uh-huh.
So, Tommy and Jagger, you guys had two separate teams.
Uh-huh.
How do you feel about their performance?
Ah,
we talk about
definitely
Garrett
not
first?
great.
Can you just talk about Garrett's performance?
I was really hyped for Garrett, you know. I thought he had the athleticism and kind of that weird, quirky, you know, vibe to where bowling would just be his thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, it just didn't happen for him. You know, you hate to see it, but it just wasn't his day.
No.
From a mental performance standpoint, I feel like I really failed. Like there were so many opportunities where he was just blowing through red, yellow lights.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, it was just I couldn't help him, and I also don't know if he really wanted to be helped.
Uh-huh.
But we needed him, so it was like it was really annoying. Yeah.
It was really nice winning. I never take for granted winning, especially beating these two guys. So
Yeah.
it was really nice to beat them. I performed consistent, so I was proud of that. And I just picked competitors. Chase is an absolute competitor. Wanted him on my team. Robbie, I knew he would talk a good amount of shit. So it was a team guy I wanted. And Colton and Gavin, just gunslingers. So I knew that they were going to perform. And Braden was my first overall pick.
Yeah.
And he was dialed.
Yeah, I should have went with my gut with Braden. But
Yeah, I knew he was going to be a
I
good
went
bowler.
for Cody. I don't know. Yeah, God,
He
that
was not
form
good.
terrible.
Yeah, his form was awful.
Yeah, not great bowlers on my team. They were athletes, but you know what? Just didn't show up when it mattered. And
Tommy, do you
ultimately just
think
couldn't
the
carry
win
it.
was necessary after what happened on the hike to kind of boost you back up?
Bring it back up.
I mean, I don't feel defeated by the hike if that's what you're insinuating, Adam. I felt accomplished.
Exactly. He conquered his fear.
Yeah.
All right.
Get out of here, Geyer.
All right, we'll get into the cooking challenge later. Right now.
Okay.
Is it expectations or?
Well, first, just to the camera so we get another thing of it. What is this challenge? What
'Kay.
set the stage for us?
Okay, pretty simple challenge we got coming up here tonight. We have two teams, the bowling teams, are going to work. Now, the winning bowling team got an extra $20 to spend at the grocery store. They had 15 minutes in the grocery store. They're going to be judged on 3 categories. 1, macronutrients. 2, taste. 3, presentation. They'll have 30 minutes with their own team in order to cook the best meal possible for us 3 judges.
What are your expectations for this?
Actually, my expectations are Ethan Price is going to whip up a really nice meal. Chase was pretty confident in what he was doing. He said he was going to marinate the chicken, but he has yet to marinate the chicken. And the flavor profile they went and shopped for, it seems like it's going to be very bland.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the money situation.
Wait,
now you've gone through this. Oh,
I gotta say one thing.
Yeah,
The
of course,
expectations
sorry.
are pretty low, simply because they didn't put the groceries back in the refrigerator, so they just came back and then just dropped them off.
Yeah, like
so they've been
18-year-old
sitting out
boys.
for about
No,
an
no, they
hour.
put them away. They put them away.
Yeah, but the time
Yeah.
wise, there were at least 30 minutes of them just kind of sitting out. So
Yeah.
low
Room
expectations.
temp is best.
Yeah.
Yeah, room temp sausage.
Low
nice.
expectations.
Come on up.
all right,
Pretty low.
Tommy, you're at the checkout, and you start seeing them go, and you see that number start getting closer and closer to 60. What was going through your mind?
They don't know how to budget, and that's obvious. Their parents buy everything for them, which is totally fine, but they had no idea what things cost and how to add. Simple addition. They failed.
What about the other teams since they were way under?
Yeah, the other team was way under. They had an additional $20 to spend, and they came in at like $48, I think. And I said, guys, you went with chicken when you could have bought steak. These guys are using sausage, and you bought chicken when you could have bought steak. Really bad idea. So we'll see what it is.
Jagger, how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I think, like I said in the grocery store, pretty low expectations. You know,
Yeah.
I think you got 1 or 2 kids who seem pretty confident that can lead a group, but gosh, I really don't know. I don't think they're going to be able to pull it together and really give us something that's actually going to taste well. I think it'll be edible. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's a tough word.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
okay.
so
Good
many
job.
syllables
It's
for
kind
that.
of like
Edible.
that 50-foot
Yeah.
hike. It's just a tough incline.
Yeah,
You know, it's just-
edible. Sorry about that. My lips are very chapped up here.
You need Carmex?
No, I think
Is this episode sponsored by Carmex?
I think I'm all right.
We can try.
I think we've gone through a tube of Aquaphor up here between everybody.
You got anything else?
Yeah.
Yes. How do you think the teams are gonna work together when cooking? Like, what's your expectations on that level?
I think that's pretty low as well. Yeah. I mean, I
I think Robbie's just going to chirp them.
Yeah, but like they don't know how to like work in the kitchen together. The mic just dropped. So I just think it's low expectations all around.
Yeah.
I'm here for just like you guys to get it on camera. That's what I'm most excited about.
Yeah, it's tough.
Anything else you want?
Yeah, real quick. As we kind of start to wrap up the 10 weeks of them training, what are your kind of hopes for them as they move forward? Passes. I know a lot of them are, if not all of them, are going to continue to train with you guys. But just in terms of like on the human side of like keeping a consistent routine and like making sure that they're doing the workouts they need to be doing to get better. When they're not starting every morning with you guys to kind of frame that. And then also just like, you know, performance-wise, like you want to see them continue to grow in that. But I guess just like from your perspective, what does that look like?
I can be pretty quick with this, or if you want to
Okay,
take
go
it.
ahead.
I think the goal of these 10 weeks was to really help them build the right habits and routines. And so they've made it habitual on what the standards are for them in terms of training, whether it be physical weightlifting, sprinting, hitting, throwing, working their craft on the mound. So my expectations is that they just continue these habits that they've developed over the last 60 days and continue to progress each day, and then use us as resources to aid in that development process. Anytime that they have questions, want to come in and get some work, they will do that. These guys are becoming like little brothers to us, so they'll lean on us when they need it, and we'll continue to help and cultivate those relationships.
Yeah, I think we had some benchmarks for what we wanted to hit within 12 weeks with these boys. Obviously, it's a long process from here. We have more summer left. They got seasons, and going on beyond that. I think with where we've been right now, they've hit everything that I've wanted them to hit.
Yeah.
They've all, I think hit on their personal goals, especially. Being able to, go through the recruiting process or certain accolades. Like, I think everything has gone incredibly well, better than we could have hoped for.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing. On the performance side, yeah, I think we're going to continue to get bigger, stronger, faster. I think these boys have been so consistent in the weight room. They've loved the gym. They love what we do, on a day in, day out basis. And I think, like Tom said, it does become habitual for them. They've put together the right habits, and it's just about continuing this day after day after day. There's no end in sight for this. It's a constant process, going from college to professional baseball. Like, you got to keep improving in any area you can. Find your strengths, find your weaknesses, and hammer them out.
Pretty exciting thing too to touch on is towards the end of the summer, guys have gained interest. Ethan Price has landed a scholarship to Santa Clara. Gavin Geyer has gained interest from Harvard and Pepperdine. Braden Goldstein has gained interest from Duke University. Colton Rayner has gained interest from University of Oklahoma and Oregon. Hearn is already committed to Oregon. Chase has gained interest after due day from schools. So this is, it's really cool to see all the work come to fruition towards the end of the summer, because they've hit all their physical standards. But we never put the a priority on you got to land a scholarship or you got to be on the phone with these schools, but it all just happened organically. And if they do the work and continue to progress, they will level up on their own time as well. Robbie Morgan, University of Southern California. So all these guys are gaining interest from big time programs and doing a great job with it.
Yeah, from my standpoint, to go back to the question, I think my job was to just come in here and educate, give as much opportunity for these kids to learn as many tools as they can put in their tool belt for the mental performance side. And I'll be available if they need any additional resources outside the camp. You know, just continue to keeping contact with them if they need any help with that. But
do a plug for Motive Mental Performance too. Let's hear your 15-second pitch. And Andrew Orbach.
Yeah, and also I have a business called Motive Mental Performance where we really just train the elite athletes, the elite performers of the world. So hit the link in the bio. It's www.motivementalperformance.com. My name's Andrew, and you're gonna just get a lot better.
Sweet. All right, you guys good?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. Good